Group 2 continuing of the Extratime.ie esports cup. All of this, of course, in aid of Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. Thank you for joining us and thank you for making your donations. Eric Finn, as always, with me. It is the debut game of St. Pat's and their young star Ciann Kelly. He's just turned 18, played a couple of pre-season games for the first team, but was the captain of the under-17 league-winning Saints team last year. Has also played underage games for Ireland. Would have been a part of the Irish Schools Internationals team for the Centenary Shield, but of course that was called off due to the coronavirus. So Ciann, we're delighted to have you along. We're delighted to have St. Pat's involved. We're delighted to have you watching. Eric, what are you expecting from this game? Ronan Coughlan with the first 0-0 draw last time out. That was Sligo Rovers against Bows. Do you expect more of the same this time?
I'd imagine so, yeah. If Ronan doesn't have at least 60% possession, I'll be very surprised. But from Ciann's point of view, we haven't actually seen him play at all, but the standard has been fairly high, I think, for, given the standards that they're professional footballers, but not like yourself, which is a professional footballer in a virtual world. So you never really know. He could do extremely well, but I guess time will tell.
Really looking forward to seeing what Ciann can do. We're grateful to him for taking part in this. Here's Murray. Puts it inside to Mahon. Kane. Sligo Rovers there or thereabouts when it comes to the qualification. Jamie Moore, by the way, I ought to thank him for giving me all that information on Ciann Kelly. And Gerard O'Brien and Coleman Hanley for providing Ciann. Jamie, a good footballing guy, a well-qualified coach, and of course a presenter of a League of Ireland podcast, which is well worth a listen. Ball down the wing, they try and square it. Coughlan was on it there. St. Pat's in the white jerseys, controlling it. Here's Griffin. Gets it away. Robbie Benson, of course, part of St. Pat's now, but that's cut out well by King. St. Pat's under Stephen O'Donnell. Here's McNally, who did so well with Drogheda last year, who got to the playoff and were unlucky to be beaten by Finn Harps in the end. We brought you commentary of that game on Extra Time. Ball in behind. Here's Clark. Clark showing fancy footwork. Clark loses it in the end. Quite unlucky, Clark. Dean Clark, of course, began his League of Ireland career under Martin Russell and UCD in 2011. Markey probing. Benson back to Markey, back to Benson. What a player St. Pat's have here in the shape of Benson, who tries to send it inside, and the keeper had to get a fist to that, McGinty. He did well there, struggling to clear it. Oh, that's the wonderful goal. Just pulled on it. It looked to me like it went in. Gary Buckley's picking up a yellow card. No, the goal doesn't count. The goal does not count. I'm not quite sure why. It was a great finish, but it does not count, and we don't have the benefit of a replay to see why.
I'm trying to think maybe it went between the post and the behind post, I guess you could say. I'm not exactly sure what it's called.
Okay, so it actually went wide, yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, to be honest, but I thought it was in as well.
Well, another one of the youngsters on it there for St. Pat's, Jamie Lennon, only 21, a regular in the Pat's under-19 team. By the way, I'm not incredibly well-researched. Aoife Nimwale she's passing me notes all the time. And by the way, Stephen Kenny has become Ireland manager today. I should really say thank you to Stephen for kind of introducing me to Aoife.
True, yeah?
You did, yes, well, like he didn't say, hey, this is Aoife, but yeah, there's a long-winded story. I wouldn't have met her only for Stephen Kenny, if I could put it that way.
That's cool.
Yeah, there we go. Ronan Coughlan going to get on the ball. Coughlan with that long hair. You have to be good when you've got hair like that, and he is good. And here's Murray. That's a lovely little flick back into the Coughlan. Coughlan pulls it back. Good save by the goalkeeper. It'll fall for Buckley, who bundles it home, and Sligo Rovers lead by 1-0.
Yeah, it was a great bit of play down the wing, and I really thought there, just for a split second, that for some reason the keeper was going to get up and make a fantastic double save. But unfortunately, there's only so many shots you can save before the ball inevitably goes in, and it did. So Sligo 1-0. Fair play.
Well, he said when he joined Rovers that he came from Cork because he wants the feeling of winning things again. Sligo Rovers still in the running here for the Extratime.ie esports cup. Buckley, as always, showing hunger on the pitch there. He does it in the real world, and now he does it in the FIFA world. I was calling it the virtual world there for a while. I think I'll just call it the FIFA world, because it kind of is its own world and its own community. St. Pat's have a corner here. Ciann Kelly in his first game. It's struck by Lennon. It's bouncing around the box. They haven't quite got rid of it. Now they have. Here's Clark. Or I beg your pardon, Cawley. Cawley playing it in behind for Murray, who looks like he's being tugged back there. Murray getting away. Murray in behind. Straight at the keeper.
Yeah, it was very good actually from Ciann there. What he did was you can bring the goalkeeper out pressing Y or triangle depending on which console. But you can, if you let go of the button, the keeper automatically just starts going back towards its goal. So he kind of tempted him with the keeper coming out and then faked him, and Ronan ended up trying to actually chip the ball over him, which honestly didn't work out.
Here's Ronan Murray into Coughlan, back to Murray. Murray rolls it across the box teasingly. Cooper couldn't get onto it at a good angle to get a shot away. Tried to recycle it. Lennon tackles him well, the 21-year-old.
I think that's a penalty.
Is it a penalty?
I can't believe that.
It is a penalty. So here we go. Coughlan against Clark. He's picking his spot quite literally. Coughlan steps up. Clark saves.
Good save.
Well,
there.
maybe justice was done there, because I think Lennon got a bit of the ball. And as you say, keepers can get it wrong here. Referees can as well. Benson, who's out wide on the wing, we know he can create things. He was so amazing for Dundalk during his time, and they were desperately unlucky that he was injured towards the end of that time, and injured for a couple of the big games in Europe this year. They really missed him, and even though he'd retired the season before, I think they really missed Stephen O'Donnell as well. I think they could have progressed if they had those two, and they could have even had things gone their way even without them. Here's Markey. Markey! Keeper makes a good save, McGinty, although he does like those Hollywood dives. This is a good match, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be kind of to and fro. I think obviously Ronan's doing his thing, which is holding possession probably about 60%, and then kind of capitalising down the wings. But I must say he's putting it up to the task. And Ciann, who knows, we could be seeing him in the semi-finals once all the games are played. Who knows, he might actually be there.
Well, how important will Clark's penalty save prove to be? Here's Murray. Ronan Coughlan missing it as himself. Would he have selected himself there, or does it automatically select? Oh, here's Murray. We'll come back to that point in a second. Murray. Oh, he just picked the wrong pass there, didn't he?
Yeah, he should have went more diagonal rather than straight across. I think he was too square on. And there you go, 60% possession exactly on the button for Ronan Coughlan and Sligo Rovers. But an interesting game, to say the least. So I really don't know what to expect in the second half. But I think it really could be either way.
Normally, being young in a situation where you're playing against older players is a disadvantage. In FIFA, it might be an advantage. Ciann isn't letting himself down so far, is he?
No, very, very decent anyway, to say the least. But as you were saying there about young and old, or what age is considered old, most of the people that are at events and do well in competitive FIFA are usually about the age of 18. So he's actually fairly spot on for that. I'm not sure, what age is Ronan, would you know?
Ronan Coughlan, I think he's 24.
Yeah, so like that's nearly considered aging, I swear. I know. I'm 23 myself, and I'm nearly at my peak, or reached after already. It's
wow,
crazy.
I'm in my 40th year, so I think I'm done before I even start on FIFA. Here comes Donlan. Good tackle by Feely. Feely just about keeps it in play. The Waterford / Kildare man. Back with Pats this season following a 2-year spell with Waterford. He was the Senior Player of the Year in 2019, so he was very impressive for the Blues. Here's Lennon. Man who gave away the penalty but got away with it. King runs onto it, squares it for Hale. Hale down for Markey! Oh, he was unlucky, that flashed wide.
That was beautiful play. That was amazing. I think he really should have taken more touches and brought it into the box, because he did have a lot of space. But when a ball's bouncing in front of you like that, regardless if it's in real life or in FIFA, you just want to let loose, and that's just facts for everybody.
Well, I think it's fair to say that Ciann is having a good start here. Remember, this is his first game, so he has 3 more games to play his way into this. For Ronan, he really does need to win, and things would be looking good if he did. Here's Cawley slaloming through. Cawley squares it for Coughlan, who scores as himself, and Sligo lead 2-0.
Yeah, that was a great goal. There's very little that someone can do about that. He did try and slide tackle and manually intercept the pass across, as you can see just here. But I think it may go down as an own goal, which it does.
It's a Lee Desmond own goal, but in fairness to Coughlan, he did put the pressure on.
Yeah, like there's really nothing else Keane could have done there. Like the ball was going in regardless. The only thing he did was take a goal away from a computer player.
I didn't know that you could score OGs in this game. What would have happened there? Would Keane have just kind of slid into it?
Probably, yeah. No, he might not have done that himself. Sometimes the computer kind of, if you're in a dangerous position, the computer decides to take it upon themselves to clear the ball, which may have been the case. But I think it was the only reasonable thing to do in that situation. It was just unfortunate that it didn't go over the bar.
Here's Clark. Clark driving. Ah, no, just a heavy touch there from Clark. Clark, who's 27 now, still looks young, still looks sprightly. Had suffered recurrent injury in around 2016, but has recovered from it, which is good to see. Here's Lennon. Lennon, lovely skill. Oh, not quite the finish to match, but not far away.
Yeah, I must say Keane's had a lot of chances on St. Pat's. They have had a lot of chances. Unfortunately, they just went slightly wayward of the post each time. Even in the first half, he did have a few chances. So I guess this game isn't over just yet. He does have chances there for the taking. It's just whether you can get them on target or not. Impossible
to know from here, but like this group could come down to goal difference, so a goal would be important for Ciann. Even if he was to lose out of the Republic of Ireland at the World Cup in 1994 when John Aldridge scored against Mexico. Yes, we lost, but that goal was so important. Here comes Clark. Donnan is chasing him. What can Ciann do? Inside it goes. That was a little bit too loose, and Sligo have it back, and he didn't help himself there, Eric.
Oh, I think if I was Ciann, I'd probably change formation. He gets down the line really well, but he doesn't have a lot of help anywhere along the wings, to be honest. If he gets down, all well and good, but
Buckley inside for Coughlan. Coughlan squares it. Who's going to get there first? The Sligo man does, but it's a good block, and then it's cleared away. St. Pat's living on the edge and getting away with the Ciann at this stage is kind of on the ropes.
Yeah, I think he's pushing forward now. When you're chasing that goal, he doesn't want to lose. He doesn't want to drop any points, and you just have to maybe. Oh my God!
Around here, Markey gets a head on it, but
so unlucky there.
Get it on goal, and that was a good chance. Well, look, he's shown enough to suggest he will be competitive in this group, even if he doesn't score here today.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And I'm looking forward to the rest of his games. Even if he gets the 3 wins in the other games, it just means that he'll be on 9 points, which surely is probably, Suffolk's semi-final at least.
Coughlan squares it, but again Sligo butcher the chance, and Lennon goes on the counter-attack. Lennon dinks it in behind. Hale chasing after it. Hale, formerly of Crusaders in the Irish League, pulls back. Hale looking to open up the defence, gives it inside to Markey. Markey, oh, he wastes the potential pass, and Sligo will come away. Liam Buckley, of course, in charge of Sligo, used to manage St. Pat's. Murray runs onto it. Coughlan's in front of him. Murray brings it into the channel. Murray, oh, it goes behind. The intended target does go loose. However, Clark was able to pounce on that one.
Yeah, that would have been a tough pass to make. He nearly made it though. But as you can see there from Ciann, he just kind of lofted it forward just at the second he got it from the keeper. Just being extremely direct now and giving the ball back to Ronan Coughlan and Sligo Rovers nearly, straight away. So I think
Give freeze from New Zealand, straight at the goalkeeper. Probably should have pulled it back.
Yeah. So the way he's playing is it's too direct nearly for a game of FIFA, unfortunately. I know he's desperate to get goals, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the way.
Kane showed too much of that to Markey, who couldn't take advantage. But Hale might. No, he can't.
Yeah, I think he's after being frustrated from Ronan Coughlan. And again, even from the last game we saw of Ronan, the way he plays, it is frustrating to defend as much as you must when you are playing him because of the fact he holds the ball quite often. So it does frustrate players and suffocates their chances. So fair play to him, because it is a disciplinary kind of play style to play. I certainly can't do it myself. I'm more free-flowing going forward especially, but it seems to be working, and it looks like he's going to qualify for the semis now.
It looks like he's got Benson maybe out wide when maybe he could put him into the middle. Here's McNally. So impressive, as we say, on loan for Drogheda last year. Cross comes in. Away it goes from Sligo. Sligo cruising and Ronan Coughlan in a very good position in Group 2. Will it be enough? Well, we'll find out over the next couple of days. Over the top it goes. They might not be done yet. Here's Ronan Coughlan. Coughlan, it's taken off his toe. Well, not a bad start for Ciann Kelly, but it wasn't enough. Ronan Coughlan, impressive again, controlling Sligo Rovers. Eric, no complaints about the result, but certainly some positives for 18-year-old Ciann Kelly on his first night representing St. Pat's.
Yeah, I actually think he played fairly well. I hopefully, if he does, which I'd imagine he will, watch this back, with our commentating involved as well. I think he might take a few points on board from himself and even yourself, just more about FIFA and the things that he may have to do, because even Ronan and others in their first game, they didn't really know what to expect. But as time goes on, they really came into their own stride, which I'd imagine Ciann will do very similar. Unfortunately, not his night tonight, but I think he will have a few good nights to come.
What does he need to do? And I want you to get kind of technical here, but at the same time, explain it to me like I'm a child. As a FIFA player, what can he do next time?
So if somebody is holding the ball against you, you basically have to outslug them. I call it outslug. People have their own terminology for it. But yeah, so if someone's holding 60% possession against you, you do the exact same to them and make them frustrated. And it's a real hard thing to discipline yourself in a game of FIFA, which, you're trying to have fun. I know it's a tournament and it's for charity, but you still want to win. So it's just the little things like that. And I'd imagine he would have to change formation as well, because his attacking was good, but when he did go down the wings, he seemed to have nobody near him to, link the play up with and nearly get a chance on goal. He was unfortunate with the shots that he did take, but hopefully with the games to come, he will change a few things up and the shots will just go on the inside of the post next time around.
Eric, really appreciate your time, because I know that you are still working away full time, so you're giving your time for nothing, and obviously you've got your own FIFA commitment, so I do appreciate your time. We appreciate your donations. Please do keep them coming in via idonate/Extratime.ie esports cup. You can find out more about Cystic Fibrosis Ireland by going to their website, or you can go through our website, extratime.ie/esports cup. Ciann Kelly loses on his opening encounter for St. Pat's, but he did enough to show us that maybe, just maybe, he'll still have a say in Group 2. For Ronan Coughlan, he's very much in the running for the semi-finals. Remember, out of Group 1 already, Dundalk and Waterford have qualified under Daniel Kelly and Tariq Wilson. Eric, for now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. We'll catch you next time.